It's on my end only. Maybe Tevin can confirm, or someone else can confirm whether they can hear you.
Okay, speak now.
So maybe you can try speaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think it's better.
Yes,
Okay. All right. So, hello everyone, and welcome to today's session. My name is Samuel, aka Sam the Teacher, and I'll be taking you through hosting, actually deploying a meme token using Motoko. So basically, Motoko is one of the languages that I use to build applications on the ICP blockchain, and yeah, and of course, ICP is a blockchain itself that is whose mission is to decentralize the web. And so I will share my screen right away, and so as we can begin. All right, so let me share my screen. Okay, let me see which one of the screen to share. All right, so I'm waiting to share my screen and check a few things out. All right, I think I get now able to share my screen. Share screen, and okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so basically this is the main website of the internet computer blockchain, and so I'll be using this where all the guides and examples are for creating your first name token with Motoko on the internet computer. And so why would let me first ask a question. Why would someone want to learn how to create their own meme token, yet they can just use no coding tools to deploy their own tokens in minutes? So, and to answer this, I just have one of the no code tools here. It's called ICP inscription. So it's one of the tools on the internet computer that allows you to deploy meme tokens on the internet computer. And you just, as you can see, all these tokens were deployed using this tool, and people didn't know how to, develop these tokens to be able to deploy them. It's just a couple of few clicks, and they were able to deploy these tokens. If you click on any one of them, you will see that it has a total supply of 60 million minted, so meaning 100% of it has been minted, and the different, the other information, canister ID, the number of cycles inside that canister, and like the different information on that meme coin. So, and back to my question, today we're looking at how to deploy a meme token from the command line, or from the developer's perspective. And so, to answer the question that I asked you, so if you can look at this website, you will see that if I come and click on deploy, it will. All right, so it will just ask me to enter the logo. I choose 5, the token symbol, the token transfer fee, are the total supply, the mint inscription, the mint amount per ghost. So these are custom features for this, but you can see that the major universal features, to just ask me for the logo, the symbol, and the transfer fee and the total supply. So basically, this is all you need, like to create a meme token. The logo of the token, the symbol of the token, the transfer fee, the total supply, just like how Tevin explained in one of his sessions, like I think 2 weeks ago, when he was introducing the whole concept of tokens and meme coins on the ICP. So you just need, hypothetically, would need the logo, the symbol, the transfer fee, and also the supply to be able to create your own token. But this is if you use like these no-code tools. What if you actually want to, maybe add more functionality to your meme token, maybe make it more deflationary or add in more other functionalities? That's where you would actually need to learn how to create your own meme coin using like the real languages, let's say Motoko or Rust or Azure or Kybra. And so for this session, we're going to actually look at how to create the token. Actually, we're going to look at two steps, if time allows. The first one is we shall look at how to create a normal meme coin on an internet computer. Am I still audible? I had like, I hope you can still hear me, right? Okay.
Yes, we can still hear you.
All right. So I was saying for this session, we're going to look at basically two methods for creating a token or using Motoko. The first one, we shall create a standard token. You just apply in the normal features, let's say the token logo, the symbol, the transfer fee, and the other parameters that are necessary. This method creates a standard token which doesn't have any like advanced features. The next method that we will look at will be how to create a token with more advanced features, or another method that you can create a token and then that method allows you to add custom features or make changes to the different functions in that token. And so we shall begin with the first method, which is creating a standard token on the ICP. And if we, we come back to our guide, we shall basically be using the guide to like to help us, navigate the whole procedure. So I'll just click on developer docs, and then all right, click on build. I'll scroll down, right here on DeFi. I'll click this drop-down menu. As you can see, it has an overview, ICP tokens, and then ICRC1 tokens. So basically, a meme coin falls under this category of ICRC1. And so basically, the ICRC1 is a standard is a token standard on the ICP protocol, just like how ERC20 is a token standard on Ethereum, or BRC20 on Bitcoin, I think. And so to begin to be able to deploy our token, we shall just click on this ICRC1 ledger setup. So basically, ledger is the one that will host everything. It's a canister that will host all the state for our token, the balances of different users, and everything that is related to our token. Let's say the token symbol, the token logo, the total supply, and every other parameter that we need. And so we come here, it says ICRC1 ledger setup. Excuse me. So it has an overview, and then the prerequisites: you must have the ICSDK installed. Okay, if you don't have the ICSDK installed, it means they show you a link on how to go about deploying your own, actually downloading and installing the ICSDK. So assume every one of us, has this ICSDK, and the way you check that is actually opening up your terminal. I'm running a WSL instance of Ubuntu on Windows. So just clear this. Then to check whether you have the IC SDK installed, you just have to type DFX version, and you should have the version printed, the version number printed. So currently I'm running, I think, the latest version. This is 0.19.0. So it doesn't necessarily have to be the latest version. You can actually install any version that you're comfortable with. Usually the latest versions can have some bugs or can have some errors. So it's recommended you always, choose a stable version that works for you, the one that, you feel doesn't have those errors. And then
Sorry for distracting. There's some bit of noise in the background. Maybe you can try fix that kindly.
if there's noise in the background.
Yeah, I don't know if it's only in my end. Background.
Okay,
Yeah, I
let
can
me
also hear some noise.
Yeah, it's a bit
let me
distracting.
fix that. Let me fix that. Okay, so I think now it's better off. Yeah, I was able to fix that. And so, as I was saying, you have to make sure that you have the ICSDK installed on your machine. And as I was saying, I have
Your volume now is a bit low. Maybe just add a bit, just audible a bit. Yeah. Thank you.
okay. Am I audible enough now?
Yeah, but you still sound like you're whispering. Just
Oh
add,
my
just
god! Oh my god! I should get a speaker. All right. So I'll try to be audible enough. And so basically, I was saying that you have to have the ICSDK installed on your machine, and the way you test it is by typing dfx dash dash version, and you should see that you have any version of dfx installed. So now that we have that installed, the next thing is actually go back to our guide and try to follow along that guide to see whether we will be able to deploy the ledger canister of our token. So I'll just click here, go back to the guide, and as you can see that they're saying this is step 2, we've finished step 1. So step 2 is to create a new DFX project with the command DFX new, then you specify the name of the project. So I will actually copy this, click copy, come back to my terminal, and then I will just make a directory, say meme coin, then go into that directory. Okay, so I will paste this command there. So it's dfx new, and then the name of the canister that you want to create. If I press enter, you will see that. So basically, this is a feature in the latest version of dfx. It allows you to select the back end for your code, the different styles, let's say the front end also, and the different features. And so I wouldn't want to go through this step, so I'll just go back here. We'll try to move down to this. I want to install an older version of DFX. Let me see if I can get it. Installing. All right, so I will install this older version. And remove this. Okay, it will copy it well. So as you can see the difference, hopefully it doesn't take long to install the older version. All right, so if I again check, so now I'm running an older version of 0.15.1, and so you will see the difference in the execution of these, when you're using the different version. So I'll just do DFX name, ICRC1 letter, the small letters, ledger, canister. If I press enter, what? Okay. So think doesn't turn it accepts underscores. So if I press enter, you will see that now I wasn't asked to specify the language for the backend. And so that is, there is like a new feature in the latest DFX version that allows you to select, the language for the backend, also the language for the front end, also the framework, and maybe if you want to add the internet identity and the different features. So if you're running an older version, you can just, upgrade the latest version, try out those features, and you see if they can work for you. All right, so as we wait for our project to be initialized, we can maybe go back. Actually, I think we have to go back to the page, the ICRC ledger setup. So far we are on the second step. I hope we cover all the two methods. They are quite interesting, especially the second method, where you can actually add in more functionality in the token canister, but time will tell whether we will cover it or not. All right, right now it is installing some dependencies, and all we have to do is actually wait and let it do its own thing. Okay, so right now it is done. So they're giving us, some hints that we can actually navigate to the new project that we've made. And okay, I'm now inside the new project that we've made, and it's exactly the same step that we've done. Okay, we move on to the third step, and the third step is to determine the ledger file locations. So here we have two methods. The first one is actually downloading. Okay, if I explain it. So if you can see here on step 4, you will see that this is the definition of the token canister that we are going to put in our code. But you will see that it has different, I call them maybe, how do they call them? I don't know, but you can see it has a type, it has a candid, it also has a wasm. So these are all universal for all canisters. So the candid is basically the definition of the functionality that is inside the canister, and also the wasm is like all the state that is inside that canister. And so this next step actually has to, you can do it in two ways. First one, you can actually download the wasm and also the ledger files using this command, or you can just point this canister to the wasm and ledger files which are pointed, which are hosted on GitHub. As you can see, I think this is GitHub. All right, yeah. So anyways, so let's go back to step 3. determine the ledger file locations. So they're saying go to the releases overview and copy the latest replica version at the time of writing this was. So we shall just click on that link. It takes us the dashboard and we will access the replica version, the latest release. And as you can see right here, this is the latest release. It was released on actually I think today. All right, so this is the latest today, 24th of April 2024 at 11:30 UTC. So if I click on this, you will see this is the ID that they want us to copy, and I'll have to go back and follow the instructions. So they say the URL of the ledger was modules this, and also the URL for the ledger.did file is that. So, and right here down, they give you an option to either download the two files, the did file and the ledger file, or you can just point the canister to those two files which are hosted on the respective URLs. One I think is for GitHub, the other one is a custom website. And so we shall just skip this, the optional one, since we don't want to download the files. Rather, we shall just point the canister to these files which are already hosted on the respective URLs. And so now we come to step 4. They're saying we have to configure the DFX or JSON file. So they say open the DFX or JSON file in your project's directory and replace the existing content with the following. So first of all, we have to open up our dfx.json file, and the way we do that is opening the whole project actually in the code editor. I use VS Code, so just this to open up this specific project in VS Code. Okay. Give it a few seconds for it to load. And yeah, we should be good to go. All right, so here is everything. You can see that our project has been opened in VS Code. It has different folders, modules, source.env, gitignore, dfx. But anyway, we're interested in this specific file, dfx.json. And so as you can see, it has a couple of canister definitions, the backend canister, the frontend canister, and the other settings that are necessary for all the canisters to run. If we go back to our code, they are telling us to replace everything in the dfx or JSON with this. Okay, so I will copy this, come here, select this, and paste. Okay, so we've changed the contents of dfx or JSON. Previously, we had actually two canisters, the back end and also the front end canister definitions. But for now, we only have the ICRC ledger canister definition. And so before we continue, we have to do one more change, and that is replacing the release ID in these URLs. So this is the release ID, so we have to replace it, and I will do that, and also replace this here. And so we are good to go from step 4. Okay, so going back here. All right, so we've just defined the ICRC1 ledger canister interface. I guess for our canister, we've pointed it to use the candid file, which is hosted on this link, and we've pointed it to use the WASM module, which is hosted on this link. So this completes step 4, and we can go to step 5. All right, so we should just ignore this since we didn't download the two files, the ICRC ledger.did and also the ledger.wasm files. So step 5, they're telling us to start the local replica. Hopefully mine is already started. I'll just come here, terminal, new terminal, and then try to do fx start background. Okay, so as you can see, we are starting the terminal, rather the network replica, and we'll also give it a few seconds, and the replica will be up and running. Okay, as the replica is starting, we can meanwhile continue with our guide. Okay, we are now on step 6. Hopefully, no one is getting lost along the way. Okay, can you still hear me? I'm just checking. Telvin, am I still audible? Anyway, so let's continue. I think I'm not getting a response from the host, or if anyone is, let me see. Okay, if anyone is listening, you can maybe try to send a message in the chat, so as I know you're listening, right? Okay. So we can continue from here. Okay, so right now we are on step 6, and what they want us to do on step 6 is actually to create a new identity. All right, so they are telling us we have to create a new identity called Minter, and then we switch, actually we tell our terminal to use this new Minter, and then we export the principal ID of that specific Minter. And so I will just do that. All I have to do is actually copy this, the whole of this code, come to my terminal, or come to this. You can actually either use the VS Code terminal or use the normal terminal we were using, and I'll just paste the whole code there. Let me see if I copied it well. Okay, I'll come back, paste the whole thing. They're saying identity already exists, meaning I had already created this identity, but this doesn't have any issue, or like it doesn't cause an error. So what this piece of code does is that it creates a new identity called Minter. It tells the terminal to switch to this new Minter, and then exports the principal ID of this identity. And the way you can prove that is actually very simple. You can, if we come to a terminal, open up a new terminal, you will see that if I try to do this identity, who am I? It should actually switch to who am I? Okay, why? It should actually show that we're using the Mint identity, because in our guide we created this Minter, then we told our terminal to switch to using this new Minter identity, and then we're exporting the principal address of the identity. So let me see, this code is working. All right. So now we are okay, or we are through with that step, and the next step is actually to define the token name, also a token symbol for our currency. And so I'll just copy these two, come here, or actually I have to come here and paste this. Okay, so actually I think I can write them if I want to edit them. I can just export token equals, you can just specify any token name that you like. I don't know if this is a good token name, I don't know, for Coin. Or let me see. Anyway, for the sake of this tutorial, we can go with that. And then once we are done, we can actually specify also the token symbol. And the way we do that is actually just copy this. Okay, go back here, paste it. You can maybe do MMC, just so as it is different. So the previous step we specified the token name, and now we are specifying the token symbol. And if you click OK, you will see that we don't have an error. And also, so far our code is working. So we can continue from this step to the next step. And the next step is actually to set the default identity or the identity with which you want to deploy the ledger. All right, so what this means is that we want to create, or we want to use this identity called default, and it's the one that we shall use to deploy our token canister. And so the way we do that, actually, to be able to do that is you write a command that tells the terminal to use default identity, and then you export the principal address of that default identity. So I'll just copy this and right away paste it in my terminal. Okay, so as you can see, everything is okay so far. Okay, so we can actually move on to the next step. Okay, so this step actually is where we supply, or rather we specify the transfer fee, the total supply. No, this is not the supply. This is not the total supply. Rather, the pre-minted tokens. So as I told you before, just like how here you specify the token logo, the token symbol, the transfer fee, and also the total supply. We've so far specified the logo and the symbol. So the next step is actually to specify the transfer fee and also the total supply. So going back to the guide, so although this is not the total supply, this is the pre-minted supply. So meaning these tokens will be minted when our token is launched. And for these tokens to be minted, someone has to own them. Meaning when they're minted, they're sent to a specific address, and you will see, and the specific address that they are sent to is I think it should be the principal address that deploys the canister, or the one that we will specify. I think the one that we will specify, that's okay. So we specify that when our token canister is deployed, mint, these are 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are 100 tokens, and send them to the principal address that we will specify. And for every transaction that occurs on our token ledger, we shall be charged, or the user will be charged this amount. And so I will just copy this, and then I'll paste it in my terminal, and I'll be good to go. Okay, so I'll go back and come right here. Okay, so what this means is that archive controller. So normally the reason behind this is normally for ledger canisters or any other canister on the internet computer, it has a limited memory or it has a specified memory, let's say 2 GB or 4 GB. And instances come up when all that memory is sometimes consumed up, leaving the canister with no memory. So these settings right here allow you to actually configure external canisters to be able to offload the burden of the main ledger canister. So let's say the ledger canister has stored 1,000 transactions and they're occupying almost all the space. You can configure in the settings of the ledger canister that whenever the transactions reach, let's say 1,000, the ledger canister should save those transactions in another canister and then delete them from the main canister, so that it can always have space to store the new transactions or the transaction history, if you can call it that way. So basically, these are all the settings that are required, and just copy everything and then paste them in my terminal. All right, so I'll just press enter, and yeah, we'll continue with the process. So anyway, I'll just for the sake of time, I'll just try to rush. So basically, this feature allows you to enable the ICRC1 and the ICRC2. We can actually go back to token standards. I don't know where they are, but of recent, the ICRC2 was introduced, and so if you want to enable it on your token canister, you can just make this to be true, and then your canister would be supporting both the ICRC1 and the ICRC2 standards. And so this is the guide that specifies that explains everything that we've done above here. So if you have time, you can just come here, read through everything, and you'll be good to go and understand what we're trying to do. And so I think we are almost reaching the last step. We are almost reaching the last step of our guide. And so this is where actually we use all the variables that we were creating previously in above. As you can see, we were exporting some variables, and in this code, this is where we are using the variables that we're exporting in the terminal. So basically, we try to use the dfx deploy command, and then we specify the name of the canister, which is the ICRC1 ledger canister. But in this case, we want to deploy it with a specific ID, which is this, and the arguments that this canister takes on when it is being deployed. So you can see that it's in the token symbol, the token name, the minter, the transfer fee, the feature flags. We actually exported everything previously from the previous steps. So the one I want to explain is actually here, the initial balance. So here we previously saw that there was a variable called pre-minted tokens, which were around 100 tokens, and this command actually says all those pre-minted tokens should be sent to the principal address corresponding to the default identity. And so, yeah, and you'll see that in action once we are done deploying. So we just copy this command and copy it, come here, paste everything. Okay, press enter. Will it work? I'm not sure. Okay, so where is the error? All right, so time to back dfx start background. Okay, so I get where the error is. Then let's try to see if this solves the whole issue. So I think this came when I was trying to change the versions from 19 to 15. And so now I have to clear all the states that was on the replica. So if again paste this block of code, it should work just fine. All right, so you can see that we are deploying the ICRC data canister, we are creating the canister and stuff related to deploying our first meme coin on the internet computer using Motoko. All right, so excuse me. So right now we have our first, we have deployed actually our ledger canister, and you can actually access it on this URL. So what I will do is that I will copy this, come to the browser, open up a new tab and paste it here. Okay, boom. So we have our canister up and running, and this canister is our token, so meme token rather. So to check out if everything is up and working, we shall just first of all go to, these are the different methods available on our canister. So we can actually call some of these. And so the first one I want to check is the name of our meme token, which is the same name that we had specified, right? So it means that actually our code is working. And the second one is the ICRC symbol, which should be this. All right, so this shows that actually our code ran successfully and we were able to deploy the token canister on the internet computer. Okay, so the other thing that I want to check is actually the total supply, which should be the total amount of the pre-mined, which corresponds to the pre-minted tokens. And I think that's the major functionality on this main coin token canister. So we can actually do a few checks here and there. So if I try to clear the fix identity, who am I? Who am I? Okay, so archive controller, so I need to change to the default identity. Okay, so then I get its principal address. This is the identity that owns all the pre-minted tokens. So if I copy this identity, come back here and I check the balance, it should actually be 100 tokens. So meaning it has all the pre-minted tokens for our meme coin. And so what you can do with this is from here, you can use this identity, you send out, some tokens to other principal addresses, you send out tokens to other like account IDs if they're supported. So as you know, you can start distributing your meme coin to other users. And so this is the first step. I think we are done with it. Okay, so anyway, so we are done with the first method of creating a meme coin on the internet computer, though it didn't, involve using Motoko. So the next method is actually the one interesting, where you can actually programmatically deploy a meme token using Motoko, or actually using Motoko. So I don't know how much time we have left. maybe I first try to check on the modulators. So as you know, I can see how much time that I'm left with, so as I know how to plan accordingly. So
It's just
Steve,
8 minutes.
8.
Yeah, it's 8 minutes. Yeah, but you can add like 5 minutes extra.
Okay,
Yeah.
so okay, let me see how to do it. Let me see. Oh, okay. So okay, so here is what we are going to do. I will just I won't. So anyway, I think I spent a lot of time explaining this, and now everyone actually on the call has, let's say, a basic understanding of deploying the ledger canisters and the different parameters that are required. Let's say the token, the token symbol, the token total supply, and different parameters that are required. So in the next method, I won't explain much, and I won't write much of the code, since it would, require us like 1 more hour or 1.5 hours. So I'll just, try to show you the code blocks and what they do, and hopefully we can catch up in the next 8 minutes. All right, so I think I have the code on GitHub. Hopefully I have it there. Otherwise it will be a hassle. Okay, so repositories, let me check. Okay. Do I have it? Let's see. Okay. No, I don't think I have it on GitHub. I think I have it here. Let me see. Okay. But it's pretty simple. All you have to do is actually, anyway, let me first try to. Okay. Let's forward down. List. Okay. Let me see. Auto token. And then open it up in VS Code. Okay, we wait for it to load, and okay, let me see if I have it here. Okay, so anyways, we can try to we can try to 8 minutes. Can we finish this in 8 minutes? Okay, so I tried to summarize, and hopefully we can do it. Okay, so this goes off. Okay, use this. All right, so where do I start from? Anyways, so the next step actually to be able to deploy a token canister using Motoko, you have to have the token ledger initialized as a class. And the way we do that is actually, if I open up my second repo, you will see that right here I have this is the code, actually the source code for the meme coin, the token ledger, right? The source code for the token ledger. And so as you can see here, it is initialized, the actor is initialized as a class. instead of the normal. Let me see if this one is class. Okay, this also has a class. Anyway, the reasoning behind initializing actor classes, rather actors as classes, is that you can actually call them in other functions or in other canisters, and it's the same thing that we're trying to do here. So I will copy this whole source code from the old file and come here, create a new file. I'll just put ICRC open class .mo, and then I'll paste everything here. Okay, so we have this is the whole source code for the meme coin, all for all the ledger canisters. And so if you can come and look at the different functions, you will see that we have let me see the different functions. Where they okay, so we have the function or the method like ICRC1 transfer, which we saw in our deployed canister right down here. ICRC1 transfer, we have like this is like the source for the meme tokens. So remember I told you that the first method actually you only create a token with the basic functionality, but for this second method you can actually come in your code right here before maybe someone does a transfer. You can just put a condition. Let's say maybe if something is something, you can, like maybe that condition has to be true before the other portion of the code is executed. So in this way, you can actually add in more functionality to your code. So ICRC balance, that's okay. The auto supply, the meeting, these are okay. These are actually query functions. But with this method, actually, you can actually add in more functionality. Just like I was telling you, you target the methods, like maybe the transfer method. You want to, let's say, you want specific people not to transfer their tokens. You can actually come and put a condition inside the transfer function. Where is it? Transfer. You can put a condition in the transfer function and say if the transfer is coming from this transfer ID, let it fail. If it is coming from this transfer, rather this specific transfer ID, let it pass. And so that is it. That's the beauty with this method. And the way now we deploy this token is, as you can see, it takes in, on initializing, it takes in these arguments. So the initialize, the init, then the different stuffs. So what we're going to do is actually we're coming back in our main.mo file. We're going to delete this everything, and then we're going to say, okay, do it in like 3 minutes. Actor, let me see, auto deploy. Okay, so equals this. So the first thing is actually we want to import our meme token class in our main.mo file, and so we should just import token class or token class anyway. Then we just, it's in the same directory, so we shall just say ICRC1 token class.mo. Okay, so the error should go away. Let me see why All right, backend. Maybe I misspelled the name, and the error should move. Let me see. ICRC token class dot mo. Where is this error coming from? Okay, so anyways, we shall continue for this error will go away. So the way you do that is actually we will create. Alright, so the error has disappeared. It has come back. So the way we do that, we shall create a function deploy that canister. So we shall just do public func with an code shared. Then we want to know who has called it. Func, then the token. So it takes in should reply to things. Okay. So when our token is deployed successfully, we should return nothing. But when there is an error, we should return something of type text. So I will just try to be quick. And okay, so this function actually should take in a few arguments. So we will just let the user, just like how from this, we shall just let the user specify the logo, the name, the transfer fee. Actually, these three: the logo, the symbol, and the transfer fee. So those are the arguments that we actually let the user specify. So logo, which is of type text, then the symbol, which is of type text, and then the transfer fee. Fee, which is of type nuts. Okay, so all right. So why is this error there? I'm not sure. Okay, let me see if it goes off inside our function. So it has gone off. So inside our function, all we have to do is actually call this token class. Since it is a class, we will initialize it with the parameters that it needs. You get that? So it requires all these parameters, and it's the one that we shall initialize it with. All right. So okay. So we just come here. Let token. Okay, let my token equals token class. Then we need to actually specify all the parameters, and the way we do that is actually simple. I will just close this, copy everything right here. This is a hacky way of doing things, but we are running out of time. Okay, I will copy everything here. You see that it is already combining. I'll paste this here, and I'll start editing. All right, so initial meet. So let's put this here. Put this here. Put equal signs where they are. Put equal signs where they are. So this will become the color. Initial means it will got the color. This will be null. Amount will be, maybe we can put this amount, I'm not sure. And then the meeting account will be, we shall just put dummy data instead of the color. And then this will be null. Okay, I'm running out of time. Okay, token name. Okay, so this is interesting. The token name now actually is this should be name, not logo. So this should be the token name. Get. So I'll come and put this here, and the symbol, come and paste it here. All right, decimals, I'll just put 8. Then the transfer fee, I think we also specified, if we want the user to specify the transfer fee should be equal to any value that the user specifies. Okay, so where is this error coming in? Okay, let me go back here. Okay, so unexpected should work. See module ledger, and where is this coming in? Okay, so what we can do, we undo the changes and then just put this here and this here. Does it make sense? Okay, so this error. See, okay, so I think we are coming up with a new error. Anyway, so let me see. I think, did I make any mistake somewhere? Let me see. I think everything is okay. Or is it? All right. Okay, token class. Anyways, hopefully this error goes off as we continue. Okay. So once you've actually initialized the token class with all the requirements, you can't just return. Actually, we will once our token canister is created, we would like to know the principal, rather the canister ID, just like how this token canister has the canister ID, which is right here. So in this case, for our code, the way we return canister ID from a newly created token class is pretty simple. You can just say principal ID equals, we have to use a new method called principal dot from actor, since our token class is an actor. We have to put in this, or rather the token class. Okay, so in that way we can actually, I think we can even return text here. Then we have to return the principal ID. Right. So basically, this is all the code that you need to deploy the token canister using Motoko. So you have, first of all, I think I'll come back to this error at a later stage. First of all, you need the code for the ledger canister here in its own file as a class, and then in the main.mo you can create a function, specify the parameters that the user needs to supply, and then inside the function you can just call the token class actor. You initialize everything like all the parameters that are required for the token class to be initialized, And once the token class has been created, if a new token is created successfully, we'll retrieve its principal ID and we will return it to the user. You could actually save it in the database or like in HashMap, but for this case, we are just returning it to the user, like, and so. Okay, let me see where this error is. The only thing that we are remaining with is this error. So let me see this. Put on this and okay, we are getting new errors. I'm not sure why. Oh my God, we'll be able to finish. Let me see. Really? I don't think this makes sense. It doesn't. It's not, anyway, let me try debugging. No, what I'm doing is wrong. So, but anyways, so this is the code for if you want to use, if you want to deploy your token with Motoko. I go back here, a new code. Hopefully, let me see if I have. Okay, I have. All right, create new token. Do I have it? Okay. Let me see. Actually, right. I think I've seen where the error was. Okay, so here in our code, we have actually to call. There is something down here. Is it so? Is it so? Is it so? Let's see. Okay, no, it's so. Let me fix this and then we can. Okay, does it make sense? Okay, the error is still there. Let me see. I'm now cheating. Okay. Initial means. All right. So, anyways, I will provide this code, the working code in. Let me see. Or I can just copy this right here, and hopefully it works instead of running with that one which has a lot of errors. So do this. Okay. Do this. Do this and paste this here. Initial means we can actually put blank. Minting account should be this. See. And my God. Okay, so the errors should move now. Okay, and the variable instruments, which is okay. This is okay. Return principal. We can actually fee. Okay, so we can actually do this here. Go to this, and then on is equal to colon. Do this. Okay, so finally do this and principal dot to text to text of color is this, volume fee is okay, so that button wait. Color, oh my But anyways, I think I have an error in my code. Hopefully this should work. You can even actually go and try to deploy. What is the canister name? No. The back end canister. So, but let me see this. This should be okay. This should be okay. This should be okay. Wait, okay. Then principal. All right. So hashtag okay. And I hope this finally solves everything, and we should be able to deploy it. We just wait for a couple of seconds for this to go off. And before I deploy my backend canister, I need its definition. We don't have it in here, so we'll just come back here, JSON, backend canister, get its definition. Just come here and paste it right above, actually below here. Okay, all right. So, so ICRC1 start backend. Okay, so this should be that, and principal should be aware. All right, so I think most of the errors have disappeared. I'm waiting for this. It's my VS Code which is misbehaving. Okay, expression of text cannot. Yeah, I know it will also move away, and we should be able to deploy our now. Backend, ICRC ledger canister. There it is expressing. It has already been solved. I don't know why this code is taking a bit long. If we don't receive the error, it means this is just the best order. Wait for a couple of seconds for the deployment to complete, and we should have everything up and running. Okay, so finally the error has disappeared on its own. So we just wait for backend canister to deploy, and we will wait for to test out the code. Okay, so I think we're in the final matches of the video of the session. If I just click on this, it will open up in a new tab, and we should actually have only one function, which is the deploy token. So the deploy token takes in three things: the name, the symbol, and the transfer fee. So the transfer fee should be, you can actually put a number node like 25124. The symbol can be TT, and then the name can be to. Okay. Okay. If we click on transfer, it will fail. I know that. And the reason it will fail is that the backend canister doesn't have enough cycles to create this new canister. This new canister actually requires you to have cycles to be able to create it. So just and that's the reason as to why they, like on this page, they charge you an amount to deploy. It is usually for that reason. And so basically, this is the code for deploying the meme coin on Motoko. And all you have to do is actually add in a functionality that transfers cycles from the backend canister to the new token canister to be able to create the canister. And I think that's it for now. I will provide the fully working code on GitHub, and then I will let everyone have access to it. And so that's it for this session, and thanks for the audience.
Nice. Thank you, Sam. That was actually quite in depth. I think we can close off the session because we are 23 minutes beyond our time limit. So I don't know whether Kevin has anything to add. Yes, I don't think he has. Otherwise, guys, thank you for joining in, and see you next week, same place and same time. Yeah, you're free to leave the call.